Netflix is interesting because they don't have a two-way relationship with their customer, which is why I think they need to pivot their business model or they will go away. So Netflix is essentially a broadcast model, but on demand. That's it. They have to involve their customers to create a community, or people will gravitate elsewhere. Because you don't feel part of Netflix.
Right.
Netflix is not cultural. It was cultural for a period in time, Netflix and chill, all of that stuff. But it's not cultural anymore. Because guess what? In a digital age, HBO, Disney, Peacock, you name it, one after the other after the other. And now they're all a commodity. And you don't have a relationship with your customer. So what you have to do is the content trap. More and more content, more expensive, higher production. And you destroy your business. Creation is one. Allow the community to curate more than the algorithm. Make them feel like they're part of a movement. So when you discover a great show, you should be able to help bring that to the surface, get people to know about it, feel that you're part. Maybe you'd have a reward system for that, which would be a tokenization. So we're seeing Reddit already move this route, and we're seeing Meta move this route. Everybody's moving this route. Is maybe there's a reward system. So now you're a great reviewer. So Amazon has that with its reviewers. Right? There's no reviewers on Netflix, really. You just can't do it. So there needs to be everything from content sourcing. How does the community involve itself in sourcing content that they can get behind? To content curation, to content promotion, to network promotion. All of those things can be done by the community. So if you focus on that, then Netflix destroys everything. But if you don't, you're just going to be outcompeted until the marginal dollar disappears and you go bust. The thing is living in both the present and the future. Because usually when you're running a business, the present is broken and the future is the optimistic part. Right. So you're always trying to fix everything now that doesn't work in the hope of going there. That dichotomy in your head at all times is really, really hard. It's soul destroying because all you can see is everything broken and periodic moments where everything's working magically. But you know where you want to get to and where you can get to. That is so hard. And the other founder to CEO is them people. You hear this all the time. Managing people is not easy. And there's different ways different people approach it. I try and approach it via kind of vision and empathy. So getting people bought in on where you're going allows you to coalesce a large group of people at the same time to go in the same direction. And you need to be empathetic to them and their own personal story. But different people do it in different ways. If I'd have been better at being process-driven, I would have put more processes in. You never realize that as a founder. You don't think about processes. They're like, oh, they're for other people.
Sounds so unsexy,
they're for airline pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck, if you don't put processes in, you've got a mess. And everybody goes through this. And then you realize you've got a mess and you try and figure out the mess and you fix things and you don't fix the processes that cause the mess. So there's so many lessons to learn. I mean, it's, again, you hear this all the time. It's endless failure because you just don't know what you're doing. One of the most interesting comments that's come to me recently was, I don't know who told it to me or who wrote it, which was a first-time founder solves for product. A second-time founder solves for distribution. That's really profound. So anybody builds the second business doesn't go the product route first. It goes, how do I distribute this product to as many people as possible? Because building products is actually easier. And we're kind of repivoting Real Vision. We kind of refer to it as Real Vision 2.0 based around this one principle, which is if you solve for community, you can build the product with them. It's a much easier, a much higher probability of success than building a product and launching it and hoping it works. So, you've always got learnings as a CEO and a founder, but that's one of them. is distribution is probably more important than product. And I would add on top of the code layer, I would add another layer, which is emotion. If people care, if you can generate emotion from your community, that is probably the most powerful thing of all. I know code sounds amazing because it sounds so neutral, and so you just create code and you become rich. But actually, emotion is why Apple is a $1 trillion company. Again, we don't do this perfectly, but you've got to think about how it makes people feel, not what it does. Do you feel like you're getting access to privileged information? Do you feel special? Do you feel like you're getting smart? What does it feel like? And I wrote an email this morning to the senior management team about this exact word, feel. It's really important because we're so busy telling people our features. And the benefits is not actually what you get out of it, it's how it makes you feel. There's a fantastic quote from Estee Lauder from the makeup empire. And the quote was, at Estee Lauder, we don't sell lipstick, we sell dreams. It's incredibly profound to understand that what lipstick is an emotional state of how you want to look and how you want to feel. It's nothing to do with the lipstick, what it's made from, the color it is, none of it. And that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, we will build out AI and more code. We're building a platform with code. But our core value is community, which is emotion. And the combination of the two, I think, is powerful. It's a hypothesis that we're going to test, but I'm pretty sure of it. The world slightly differently because I'm a contrarian, as we've established.
Yes.
The goal is not money. The goal is lifestyle, quality. And that can mean different things to different people. You could be in a cabin in the woods in Appalachia and be the happiest clam in the world. But quality of life is the bank that you're wanting to build up. You want that deposit account to build. Money is just a mechanism of doing that. And don't confuse material wealth with lifestyle. Lifestyle are the things that make you happy and make you at peace with yourself. It might be access to nature. Now, access to nature on an everyday basis can either be done in two ways. One is you can afford to live in a nice place and afford to have free time, so you can engage with nature. Or the other thing is you don't do a job that requires you to be in a city. You do a job that's in nature. It probably pays less. These are trade-offs, but you could be equally happy. So it's quality of life, to me, is everything, and it's all we work for. And I learned that early on. I was in my early 20s, and my girlfriend at the time's mother lived in Mallorca in Spain. And we were there for a week's holiday or a long weekend, and we were on a beach out of season, and there was somebody grilling sardines in oil drums on the beach in this beautiful cove in Mallorca, right? Perfect Mediterranean scene. And we were grabbing some of these sardines and a cold beer, and up on the left, on this mini peninsula next to me, was this palm trees and pine trees, typical of the Mediterranean, and a long table of 30 people, all generations. And they were eating paella on a Sunday, and they were drinking wine, and there were kids, grandkids, grandparents, everybody, friends, and they were having fun, and they were outside, and it was a very simple thing. They were just simple trestle tables, but just full of stuff.